Hello, 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 everyone. How are you all? Hopefully, you're all doing well. So, we're going to be finishing up the Crystal Tower series of things. At least that's my plan. Dun, 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 dun. Grahatia is ready to address the assembled fellowship of Noah. For prosperity! The fellowship of Noah being accounted for, it is time this assembly was called to order. Brambos will be presiding over the meeting, and if you would be so kind as to inform him of your readiness to proceed. Welcome back. I have just been reading about your encounter in the Labyrinth of the Ancients. It pleases me greatly to note that you seem none the worse for the experience. For your reference, I have added my own notes to Graha's preliminary expedition report and begun compiling a Crystal Tower survey log. The information contained therein will be available to you at all times should you have any questions you need only ask. Now, if there are no objections, I shall begin with a summary of the expedition's key accomplishments. In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds of the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses, before proceeding to secure the maze surrounding the base of the spire. According to Illusion's account, the labyrinth's defenses were most emphatically active. Disturbingly, her report also mentions a violent encounter with a sentry, heavily augmented by elegant technology. In short, our misgivings were well founded. The Crystal Tower was not simply thrust above ground by the chaotic shifting of Earth. It has somehow been reawoken. If, as seems increasingly likely, the tower's secrets should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, this will almost certainly involve returning its mechanisms to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we will first need to address the question of how they work. The answer to which must surely be waiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is, where we must go. A task rather easier said than done if the perils of the labyrinth are any indication. Then I move that all further exploration of the tower be delayed until such time as an exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses has been completed. May I entrust this task to you, Master Garland? It would be my pleasure. Don't forget about us. It's like you said, Chief. We found the ironworks to make sure that technology was used for the right reasons, and that means making sure it's not used for the wrong ones. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't see this through to the end. Lads, well, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores. Well, everything seems to be in hand here, so I shall take my leave of you for the present. If I am to witness this valiant tale unfold with my own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire. You'll do nothing of the sort, Graha. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation. Ah, son of a... As an observer, I am not, strictly speaking, subject to your authority. Pray do not mistake my intent. I am well aware that I shall never be a match for one with your innate talents. However, hard I train. Be that as it may, pray do not allow your skills to rust from disuse during the coming pause. We won't need you fighting fit if our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than the briefest glimpse of that which time has obscured. Soon, however, we shall cast off the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Allegan Empire. And with that encouraging thought in mind, it's time to bring this assembly to a close. Let us all focus on the task at hand, that our next expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned. Such a terrible mess, yet it does leave the door wide open, so to speak. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm getting to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So this is the legacy of the Allagan Empire left behind. If my readings are correct, the energy source waiting atop the tower is a match for even the ultimate weapon. Nay, more than a match. A new toy for me to play with. Yeah, Nero. I believe the fates have conspired to deny me my just rewards once again, but it seemed that they had greater destiny in mind for me. And so long as my ambition burns, I shall strive to seize it. The dream lives on, Sid. Did not disappoint me. Rainbows is frustrated over Noah's lack of progress on the Crystal Tower. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say that there is nothing worthwhile to report. The suns continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We're not able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You may recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially? In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Circus Tower, the Allagans called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It requires time that I am loath to waste, but I have mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance. And you are? Be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I am Unel, and my companion is called Doga. We are scholars of the Allagan civilization, sent by the students of Baldesion to assist in your endeavor. Une and Doga, rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for misobserving, but I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received nary a word of your coming. Moreover, in light of recent incident at the Isle of Vol, I should think that they have rather more pressing concerns. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. What is it? 'Tis nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. The same. You have the Allagan eye as well? This sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Allagans, yet I inherit it from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there's aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are bound by fate to Alog. As your eye has placed you upon the path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. Seems to me we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? That is your wish, and so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Boldigian. Where I am able, I trust there will be no objections. Very well, as of this moment, I name Une and Doga advisory members of NOAA. Without further ado, let us have them examine the Circus Tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. Lucian, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. I shall join you. With Une and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for settling events in motion, I am hopeful that we will finally see progress. Dun, dun. Oh wow, I got just slaughtered there. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent. It's been slow going, or rather, no going for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. Don't forget to follow me. I'll take you to him. Some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Une and Doga. They are scholars of ancient dialogue sent here by our friends of Boldigian to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing this tower's defenses. It is our hope that we can be of some small assistance. If your attire is out to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Circus Tower, the principal spire of the structure, collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a matchstick cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman, respected, elegant royalty by my judgment. Besides who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like it's not, it is purely decorative. No, 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 no. Yeah, it's too coincidental that those two showed up. A man and a woman. An odd attire. Yeah. See, back when I actually, back on my main, when I did all this stuff, I skipped cutscenes pretty badly. If you're thinking to force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. They'll put one hand each. We don't mean to waste our strength. Indeed, should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? Not the hands I figured they would use. I don't think any of us expected that to happen. I did. I expected it. It made sense to me. Something else. What is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable only to those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you've acquired. Nero, you're still alive? Garland, if I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Ah, but I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is, for all intents and purposes, defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald. And so I've been roaming this land of Eorzea, regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, it is only my just deserts, but I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was a symbol of ancient Alog's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I've unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Allegan royalty? Yeah, I think that's what he just said. Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? It would seem that the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apologies. It was not our intent to deceive. We simply wish to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it pleases you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Very well. Sentinels, did you seriously mean to follow us around? Yeah, I think that's what he's planning on doing. Come, Garland, you know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An elegant tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you the joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. If you are already listening, I shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader Rambrose may wish to be present. Before we can begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It is not our intent to deceive you. As you have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Odegian. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through elegant technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created? More specifically, what is it you now seek to do? Good questions. Answering questions require that we revisit elegant history. Pray bear with us. The Elgin Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as a symbol of Allegan pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. The decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, Allegan's civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Alec to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than his founding father, whom he sought to be resurrect. The founding father, you cannot mean Emperor Xandal. None other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Une and Doga. Circle texts mention the reigns of two Allegan emperors named Xondi. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike, to think that the two are in fact one and the same. Xondi returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Amon's prediction, the Emperor restored this realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allegan dominion. an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Xandi turned his sight towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness again, seven hells. What is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you are right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Xandi is very much alive. Within Circus Tower he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Yielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blink of an eye, the mighty Allegan Empire was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Xandi's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. And in that state they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. And I'm going to guess that time is now. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth. Its ascent triggered the seventh Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Xandi awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with the darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. It is for no other purpose but to put an end to Xandi's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesake, the true Une and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart the Emperor. They gave unto us their will that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xandi, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It's taken years, but our research is finally over. Tis no ordinary woman who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, we are confident that we can end Xandi's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Odegian amongst a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole damn time. So what will we do? The world's in grave danger again, and just so happens you're an expert at saving it. Well, son of a... Guess I gotta go in there and do the thing of the things with the things, and... You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Allegan Empire's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Allegan civilization. But what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realms to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of of ancient relics can compare to our friends Une and Doga living, breathing Alligans. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Circus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. As you did for us within the Labyrinth of Angels, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice to say, this includes Emperor Xandi himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Circus Tower from the outside world to work then. Wait, there's something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Elgin Eye you called it, but to us it is the Royal Eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I am quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now it is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Circus Tower awaits us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Xandi himself included. This will afford us a chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's get on with the thing. Okay. Oh, I finally unlocked Alliance raids. But we're supposed to need to do this one. Oh yeah, it's one of the vendors up top that sells the bait. I was like, maybe we can do some fishing and level up fishing here while we wait. But it's like, oh yeah, I have to have bait to do that. Annoyingly. You do not have what I require. Don't matter. Just when I was about to buy supplies. No, 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 don't seal me out already. No, 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 no. Must make it. Must make it. We'll make it. We'll make it. We'll make it. We made it. I don't know if we still have to pay attention to Those are the ones I've done this. I don't remember whether or not you have to actually pay attention to mechanics on this anymore or not. Well, that didn't go very well. Well, they killed it. Didn't require much input on my part. Move immediately to sealed area. Sure. Oh yeah, I forgot. A bunch of clones show up after that. Mechanics may or may not be a thing here. Look at all those. All those Reaper debuffs. You used to actually have to go stand in those things, well... in just a couple days to our stream anniversary. Still don't really know. I think we'll do a couple different things. Part of what we'll do is we'll probably just stream a little bit of what we streamed the very first night we ever streamed. The Commodore hat. At least that's what I've always considered as. This only real mechanic you have to worry about is just don't break the ice, stay behind the ice for this attack here. Curtain call. Beyond that, pretty much most everything is generally mostly ignored. Mostly. Fight valiantly, mortals, but to no avail. Look at that angry face. He is grumpy. He is just grumpy as shit. There's just no end to how grump that guy is. Absolute darkness draws nigh. Oh no. I was like, wait, did I just get disconnected? Because fuck if I did. Because I would not be getting back in anytime soon. I mean, I'd certainly try and take a look, but we'd probably end up playing something else for the rest of the night if that happened. It took me 4 hours this afternoon to get on and play. Dun 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 dun. Let's see. Grade that. Grade that. Grade that. Grade that. Need that. Need that. Use that. Use that. And use that. Illusion. You did it. You defeated Emperor Xandi. Empires may rise and fall, but man's indefatigable spirit never lives on. Truly, you are the champion we had hoped for. With Emperor Xandi now at eternal rest, his dark legacy may be undone. What are you playing at now, Nero? In case you haven't noticed, Garland, these are dangerous surrounds. Can a man be faulted for exercising due caution? At any rate, you needn't mind me. I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go on and finish what you came to do. There are two ways that we may seal off Sirius Tower. Either isolate from the outside world or cripple its ability to produce energy. The choice of method is yours to make. Before you proceed, however, Doge and I must needs to attend to a task. Yeah, we gotta do something about the black portal thing, don't we? distortion. What is it? The power that Xandi sought to obtain comes from the void. The world of darkness, our people called it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Voidsent. Voidsent feed on Aether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for their allegiance, Xandi entered into an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Voidsent could freely enter our world. The covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Unya and I believe that we can annul it. By his blood, Xandi sealed his dark pact. By our blood, it shall be undone. It is time. Yes, Toga, finally we may fulfill our purpose. Oh, be still my beating heart. For a moment I feared that this outing would end in disappointment, but for my rings were not mistaken. Not even the ultimate weapon compares to this. What are you going on about, you asshole? The covenant is everlasting. And so Mercadia is brought into the fold. Soon all the world shall be united under the Allegan rule. And yet with every dream that becomes reality, the memory of death grows ever more vivid, an endless void bereft of light and warmth. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will, you cannot fathom my rage, my melancholy, my fear. What worth is wealth and power when all must inevitably be consigned to nothingness? If man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So let there be nothing. Harvest more power, that the gate may be thrown full open. Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes, and dreams. Let all be returned to nothingness. Pull yourself together. Is there no end to them? What in the seven hells is happening? Ah, not now, damn it. It's like fighting the Borg. Kill a couple, a few, and even more show up. Nero, were they part of your grand plan too? Save your japes, Garland. I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with worthless clones. Something controls them, avoids it, and no ordinary one at that. Doga. And carried off into the void. And so too shall you. Confounded, without them, there's no way to master the darkness. That power is mine. The covenant shall be honored. I am the cloud of darkness. I shall devour your light and return this world to the void. Damn it, the rift is gone. What are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to leave without them, there's precious little we can do. Let us return to the find and consult Rambros. All this happened within the tower. Gods preserve it. The rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate. Of this I am certain. There exists a myriad of kinds of void scent. The more powerful the being, the larger the gate must be for it to pass through. It would seem that Xandy sought to open a gate of unprecedented proportions. One that would allow the cloud of darkness entry into our world. Fortunately for all mankind, he did not succeed. I shudder to imagine what this void sin is capable of. However dreadful it may be, we can't abandon our friends. Is there no way to save them? I will not lie to you, Master Garland. The situation is bleak. Though Voidson can enter our world, instances of men entering the void have never been documented. It pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not even know whether our friends still live. Damn it, I feel so helpless. No, I refuse to give up. We must save Doga and Une. We share the same eye, 'tis true, but that is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them to fulfill their mission, a mission whose burden they have borne for thousands of years, and besides, we cannot leave matters as they are. So long as Zandy's Dark Covenant is binding, our world is in danger. 'Tis our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass. Ever since meeting Une and Doga, you have not quite been yourself. Tell me true. Is all well with your eye? I honestly cannot say. I know only that there is a memory that I must recall. As a child, my father told me that the truth of our eye rests with Alog. The answer eludes me still, but one day I will find it. I am with Graha. However, some of the odds we must try to save Une and Doga. I and that bastard Nero as well, if only to make certain that he won't make any more mischief. You have the right of it, though we have not been known them but briefly. Doga and Une are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts in literature both. I swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet know that it may be a while before we are ready to act. I would ask that you all be patient when dealing with the void. One cannot be cautious enough. Why, thanks again for your assistance. Pray rest now while you can, for when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be at no less than full strength. We'll save them yet, mark my words. Ambrose has furrowed brow and the look of one with ill tidings. Ah, illusion is good you are come. I have news you must be made aware of. Alas, none of it bodes well for us now, nor for Une, Doga, and Nero imprisoned in the Dark Realm. Think back upon our last foray into Circus Tower, if you will. The calamity stirred the place from its long slumber and awoke Emperor Xandy. But you, Illusion, you ensured he was laid to rest permanently. Yet the Emperor had sealed a binding covenant with the terrible void sent known as the Cloud of Darkness. Even as Doga and Une labored to annul this contract, the entity reached through a rift and dragged the pair of them, and Nero, out of our realm. Since that day, Noah has devoted itself to rescuing Une, Doga, and Nero from beyond the rift. Our research, however, has exposed a far more dire problem. The Crystal Tower still acts upon Emperor Xandy's orders and collects energy to open another void gate even as we speak. Indeed, the place nigh hums with energy. We have done all we can to stop the Imperial Edict, but to no avail. Just as the gate would open only for Une and Doga, so too will the tower heed only those with the royal blood of Alog. 'Tis a most galling design, granted. This was not always so vexatious, according to the elegant tombstone Nero presented us. During the golden age of Alog, the royalty had some means of bestowing their blood upon others. If they hadn't such a technology, Amon and his underlings could never have controlled the Crystal Tower. But we do not have either this art or any with royal blood. Every moment we wait, a vast rift through which the cloud of darkness can enter our realm threatens to open. Such a Such as asking me allowed to come to pass, we must seal the Crystal Tower and acknowledge Zandy's covenant with the Dark Realm. If only breaking the ladder would suffice, but then what of the energy building in the Crystal Tower? What's without suppression? That power could have discharged and caused a claiming like to the one that destroyed Alog. In truth, we have more than just 3 lost compatriots to worry about. If we do not act, our very world will fall before the might of this threat. We know but one way out of this predicament: rescue those who can control the tower from beyond the Dark Realm and seal the rift shut after them. And mercifully, not all our news is quite so bleak. 'Tis true we cannot stop the Void Gate from manifesting within the tower, but this can be to our benefit. We can use Circus's power for our own purposes and create a portal to carry us into the Dark Realm. We have heard this is possible from a man of the Thaumaturgist Guild, well versed in otherworldly matters, and with Master Garland working to create said portal, the final preparations are well underway. Ah, and here comes the man himself. Just the woman we need. Yes, our fellowship is indeed complete, and all parties privy to our strategy, and you, Master Garland, how fare your endeavors? Quite well, this device is nearly ready, though attaching the damnable thing to Circus Tower took every ounce of ingenuity the Ironworks has got, but should produce the energy we need. With just a little more fine-tuning, we can open a rift. I'm here to request your presence at the tower. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge at the 8 Sentinels as guides, and do hurry. I'm sure you wouldn't miss another chance to save the world, would you? I'd certainly try not to. I'll grumble about it, but sure. Well, Sid certainly seems to have a firm hand on the helm. Shall we make our way to the Crystal Tower? Dun 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 dun. I bet you're here to watch us pry open a rift between worlds, eh? We're almost ready. Circus Tower is full of engineers scurrying around and making adjustments. We're dealing with a lot of power, and if a single coupling's off, well, boom. But should be fine, really, anyway. You'd best wait at the top. The chief's still over there overseeing the whole operation. My friends, you've arrived. I'm just waiting for my engineers to give the signal. Then we'll see if we can't open a gateway to another world. Is there something amiss? Emperor Xandi's throne, how the mighty have fallen, eh? Once it stood as a symbol of Alog's art and power. Now it's nothing more than an empty chair. Just imagine if Allegan civilization had lived on, and a just emperor still sat on that throne. How different would our history be? How much further would we have advanced? Fortunately, there was no stopping Zondi and his ambition. There, there, there were those who tried. Zandi's war of dominion left no one unscathed. Unable to abide the horrors inflicted upon the people, warriors young and brave took up the sword against Alog. These men and women became as beacons of hope to those who had suffered, not unlike the warriors of light in our age. But all this merely hastened the destruction. Just as they moved towards Alog's heart for the kill, Xondi lashed out in anger and frustration as trapped beasts are wont to do. In his desperation, Zondi desired that a great rift be opened to hasten the cloud of darkness's coming. To this end, he summoned the sun's power held within Dalamud be emptied into Circus Tower at once. The act bore terrible consequences. The tower only withstood the blast by flooding the land below with the energy. Circus was swallowed by the very earth upon which it once stood. The fourth umbral calamity I'd learned of its cause from Une and Doga. I had no idea that rebellion incited Xondi to rashness, though. Your knowledge of Allegan history is astounding. Why, a man could study for 2 lifetimes and only learn half of what you know. Mayhap 'tis strange, though. I cannot seem to remember where I learned such things. Yes, all Biggs, are you ready? Ready and raring to open up that void gate, Chief. We reckon then this machine's up and running, she'll be able to float live 5 airships in the size of the Agrius. So she gets the word and we'll start channeling energy into the tower. Good, then let's get started. Our preparations are complete. Everyone step away from the throne. Alright, let's see what this machine can do. Now, Biggs. Ah, Rift to the World of Darkness, as Une called it. Splendid work, Master Garland. We can't break out the mead just yet. The tough part's still ahead. We've broken into the Dark Realm, but the gate's still not all that stable. It won't stay open forever, and only a few can use it. I, for one, will remain here to ensure the Void Gate stays open. As will the sons of Saint Koinik. This rift is our sole path of salvation. If it closes, we are truly lost. Which leaves illusion, my friend. 'Tis a heavy burden I must task you with, but there are none more able. Pray lead the adventurers beyond the rift. I do not know what awaits you, save the cloud of darkness and our 3 comrades. But you must go, for the fate of our world now rests upon your shoulders. This is our only gambit, but I have every faith you will succeed. It will be no small feat to return after you have passed beyond the rift. Make certain you are prepared before leaving. Might I have a moment of your time? There is a matter of import we must needs discuss ere we leave. I wish to speak to you about my eye, as you are no doubt aware it is a trait seen only amongst Allegan royalty. Long have I pondered why such is my inheritance. The sanguine hue must have some bearing upon my destiny. This much Doga himself admitted, but what? In truth, the more I learn of the Crystal Tower, the less I am myself. Somehow meeting those two clones has brought great change in me. I am soon with remembering something ancient, but ever so important. And my father's words echo in my mind, the self-same ones his father told him. The truth of our eye rests with Alog. Mayhap what I wish to remember in these words are related, mayhap not, but I know I must learn the truth that history hides from me. I would see this journey, our journey, through to the very end, and with my own two eyes. So I implore you, allow me to join you beyond the rift. You have my thanks, my friend. Now let us venture into the world of darkness to save our comrades and our realm. Uncheck that one, check that one, there we go. That fight's... I don't know if that fight's going to go how I hope it to. Oh well, somehow we actually beat that. Glad we did, but... Got a couple mechanics here. You have to dance between basically two different points, and then there's a death mechanic which you have to go to that circle for. But this is the two different areas. You get debuff from one, then you gotta go get debuff, the other debuff, so it drops the first. I think you can actually withstand taking it one buff twice, or debuff twice, before absolutely having to switch. Oh, and that pops up, and you have to run out of the circle. I don't remember whether he's done the buff again or not. One of our healers is down, the other has no mana, and I have no way of helping them like I used to. Used to be you could pop Mage's Ballad and they'd regen mana a lot faster, but now Mage's Ballad does something else entirely. Yep, we'll move. Yeah, kill portals. Because if the portals don't, they turn into enemies, and the bigger portals turn into bigger, worse enemies. Small ones aren't too bad, generally. I don't remember the mechanics on this one. Actually, I can't be entirely certain I ever really knew the mechanics for this particular fight in the first place. Main thing I know is that eventually there's like a green pool that comes about. If you stand in the pool, I mean, it poisons you, but you can keep ads from spawning. He does a thing where if you move or use any abilities, you get hurt. And I think there's a point where you have to kill all his heads become active, and you have to kill all the heads. Yeah, here. This is all the heads became active, so. Ah! Oh yeah, and that. Don't remember ever getting thrown up in the air before. That was new. At least to me. Though it may have happened, I just didn't remember it. That's a good, fair possibility, too. Amine. This fight can either go real smooth or real bad. Gotta wait for one of the other areas to activate there. Remember this having a lot of mechanics, I just don't remember exactly what they are. Or if they're even still technically even relevant. Now I gotta get Miniatura. Get in here. Get eaten. Hurt the stomach wall. Who disturbs the gloom? Ah, mortals from the realm of light. You have not stumbled here. I am the cloud of darkness. What I do not smother, I devour. What I cannot devour, I destroy. The covenant is everlasting. All mortals before the flood of darkness will sink lifeless into the void. Pretty much, I think the only mechanic in here that's not self-explanatory is basically go stand in the meteor things and kill the meteor things. Otherwise, it's fairly standard. Yeah, those are the meteor things I was talking about. Oh, and stop and kill the clouds of darkness where they get to Earth. Because she eats them, and if she gets a large enough stack of after eating them, she'll wipe the entire raid. Or the entire alliance. The bigger the cloud, the more stacks it's worth for her. No, usually each group has their own cloud that they're supposed to take care of. I actually thought I was good, but apparently not. Where in the seven hells are they? Without them to stem the energy in the tower, defeating the cloud aids our cause little. Doga Una, can you hear me? Nero? Must you be so infernally loud? Are you so keen to attract more void scent? Though I don't blame you for missing my company. Thank the 12, are you alright? As already as can be expected, Une has simply passed out. Nero by the gods, what's happened to you? Alas, his wounds were too deep and allowed this foul place entry to his body. Now the darkness claws at the aether of his very form. Would that we could have protected him. The cloud of darkness was bound by Xandi's unholy covenant to bring prosperity to Allegan royalty. The same blood that sealed this contract gives us a measure of protection. I say a measure, for his vow does not protect us from other void sin. The cloud imprisoned us here precisely to unleash fiends upon us. We would be dead had Nero not defended us so valiantly. Mistake not my actions for kindness. I have use for you yet, Neorzia, and simply couldn't let harm befall you here. Where? Une, you are safe. Our friends have come for us. Have they? Then perhaps, Doga, there is yet hope we may fulfill our purpose. Mortals, you have dared to challenge me, and now you must feel my wrath. Do you think to destroy me in my realm? Here I am eternal. I shall smother your light and tomb your bones amongst my shadows. Are we truly so powerless here? As long as we fight the cloud in this room, I fear so. And yet, though I may not be able to destroy it, this may be our chance to stop it. If we strike now whilst the cloud can barely hold her form, mayhap we can sever Xandi's covenant. Yes, and raise the bridge between the Crystal Tower and this foul place once and for all. You must flee. You and Doga mean to stay here? 'Tis madness. You must return with us. No one but you can save the world from the threat of the Crystal Tower. That's what they're planning on doing. They're just going to do it from in here. What is this trickery? Your blood. You too gain protection from Xandi's blood. You are possessed of royal blood. That is why the royal eye runs in your line. 'Tis a gift you have inherited, Growl. You have been granted authority over the Crystal Tower. I had thought time would consume all of Oleg that was. That a man should still live with his forebear's blood in this age can be no coincidence. Some person must have planned this gift in your line and used the highest of Allegan technology to do so. True, the Crystal Tower is not like to recognize you as Allegan, not as you are now, but your royal eyes speaks a simple truth. Then you tell us one feeble glitter that will illuminate all, the light of hope. But how should I use this light? Pray tell me. You must gain control of the Crystal Tower. We will share our blood with you. Though its effects will be but ephemeral, it will bolster the Allegan presence within you. This is our gift to you, that you may fulfill your destiny. All with the royal eye are bound by fate to Alog. Our part in this journey is to bury Xandi's dark ambitions in the past. This was the true Une and Doga's purpose, one we have carried into the future. Know that as long as the light of hope survives in you, our souls will still remain, even if our bodies are lost. You must leave us as well, Nero. I am sorry we could not live up to your expectations. I must return to you what is yours, though. You dropped it whilst offending us. What you seek by this instrument may not be possible, Nero, but do not give up. There are many other paths that await you. Of course they do. Doga, nay, I thank you. We shall never forget you. Now, Illusion Nero, let us quit this place. Shall not escape me, impudent children of light. No, you shall not escape us. Here, Xanti's blood-stained dreams of glory end. If it grows, it grows faint, then the bridge between realms grows fragile by the Covenant's annulment. If that light dies, we are stranded, Harry. Hurry! Nero, no, you must move. Leave me. I don't need you if I die here. It'll be because I bloody well decided to. I failed to master darkness. I will not suffer watching a green boy master the tower. Do what you will with it, but remember me, son of Alog. I am Nero Tul Skyva, the man who will yet outdo Alog and Garland. That was what you hoped to... May the Crystal Tower again be. Go, damn you. Must move onwards. This is not where I come to rest. But how did... So those damn Clims did it after all. Now onwards. You owe me, Nero. The hell's I do? You are returned unharmed. Thank the gods. When the void gate started to close, I had never felt so powerless in all my life. We were running about like madmen trying to keep the gates open, and then the chief actually went and dived in, but if you're all... Where are Une and Doga? They're not... I see, I will miss the two of them dearly, but I am not happy they fulfilled their purpose. We who live on must still attend to the Crystal Tower, though we now have no one able to seal it. That is not true, my friend. Une and Doga have entrusted me with their blood. I can now control the Crystal Tower. Yes, I can see it in your eyes. Good, and let us put an end to this and seal away the tower. I understand your instinct, Rambros, but please give us a moment to rest. I'm weary to the bone, and Nero and Illusion are both emerged from long battle. Of course, you have the right of it. Come, we shall leave this place for a spell and repair to St. Coinet's find. No one but you could have succeeded in the world darkness illusion. Would that I could have been of more use beyond the rift. As it stands, I was but a vessel for Doga and Une's blood. Have I remembered what I wished to? Yes, something has come back to me. Gaining royal blood and witnessing true bravery has made me the forebearer's dearest wish. But we not speak of these things now. It was not my place to keep you. Pray, go on ahead of me. There is something small I would do before I return. Could not have asked for a better comrade. If only I could have been a part of your adventures for a longer illusion. Last fate dictates I have a different role to play. A wish hidden for millennia and brought to light by the good people of Noah. Now, finally, 'tis my time to see it realized. I can express how glad I am you returned safely, Illusion, with the means to dispel the threat of the Crystal Tower for good. Rest if you will, and then let us free ourselves from the specter of the Alligans. The Light of Hope. The look of finality upon him, Rambo seems intent upon sealing the Crystal Tower once and for all. I trust you have rested, my friend. Good. I wish to seal the tower now, but there is something we must do first. Let me summon the others and hear in full what happened beyond the rift. So, the elegant eye that runs in line does mean that royal blood flows in his veins? I suppose it's not so odd to think his forebears gained it via ancient technology, but who imbued his family with the blood and for what purpose? Mayhap all this was fate from discovering the Tower of Graha gaining Une and Doga's blood? Has Graha said anything for that matter? Where is Graha, and what of Nero? I'm not sure about our resident historian, but Nero left the tower with me. Where he's vanished to since, I cannot say. But knowing him as I do, I don't believe he'll scheme against us for the time being, though he is still Nero. You said Graha stayed behind at the Crystal Tower? I wonder if he even now prepares to seal the place off. Master Ambrose! Master Ambrose! The Graha... Tis Graha Tia, sir. He came into the Crystal and began ordering researchers out. What? Why would he do such a thing? I do not know, sir, but he was quite insistent. He all but bodily forced me out of the gates. I suppose possibly he told one of the others, but I wasted no time in finding out. I thought best to hasten here and ask your guidance. Very well, let us go and speak with these researchers and get to the bottom of this queer business. Master Garland Delusion, please come with me. No doubt Graha means to seal off the Crystal Tower, but it worries me that he did not breathe a word of his plan to us. What in the world was Graha thinking, demanding we leave the tower? No doubt you want to know why. I wish I knew that myself. Of course he would tell me nothing, but he will be honest with you, miss. I am certain of it. Go no further, my friends. The doors will close ere long. So you are of a mind to seal the tower? I know time is of the essence, but all I ask is a hint of your plan. Please come here so we can discuss this. No, my apologies, but I cannot. Come, man, what is this nonsense? If aught is amiss, surely we can help. Not this time, my friend. Just as Une and Doga fulfilled their destiny, so too must I fulfill mine. My blood has awakened me to this fact. As my father told me, the truth has always lain with Alog, or rather, 'twas there the wish I must grant was born. You see, not all the world perished in Zondi's calamity. Survivors stood amidst the ruins of Alug, looking to the Crystal Tower, but was nowhere to be seen. Yet they hoped its fires would again dominate the land and prayed that the Crystal Tower would be a beacon of hope to people everywhere. Word of this soon reached the only member of Alug's royalty to outlive the Empire, the Princess Selena. Selena was moved by the people's dearest wish. She used the very best of Alug's technology to give her blood and memories to he whom she trusted most. That man was my forebearer. For millennia we waited. Alug's art and ingenuity faded, our royal blood grew thin. But before the last drop could vanish from the realm, the memory of all this returned to me. And now I must fulfill the wish of the ancients. The tower will shine forth as a new beacon of hope. The Crystal Tower's strength poses too great a threat to Eorzea now. You would need technology as advanced as Alug to use it correctly. As things stand, we barely understand the tower's workings. Hell, we may never fully comprehend them. Just as you say, Sid, we could wait for someone someday to reach the same heights as Alug, but by then, we will have lost the royal blood and the means to control the tower. But what if I do as Amon did and put the tower into a deep sleep? What, you cannot mean that? I am deadly serious, Sid. The tower may only be used once men rival the elegance of knowledge. I will slumber within Circus Tower until then, to greet those with the means to open the gates. Then I will guide them, and thus will the tower shine forth as the beacon of hope it was meant to be. 'Tis the only way to make the wishes of the ancients come true. The future is where my destiny awaits. But yours lies outside of these doors. Go, create a future where hope reigns, and the tragedies of the past are but memories. No one but you can accomplish such things. Nothing we say will make you change your mind, will it? Onwards to a brighter future. It won't be easy, of course, but that's exactly why we'll do it. We'll catch up with Alug, just you wait. We'll cover all that lost ground before you even know it. Well said, Wedge. It'll only be a few years before we come locking. Then you're in for a rude awakening. You shall be witness to Noah's accomplishments. Pray, keep alive our successes and forgive us our failures. And may we meet again, my friend. The 12 keep you till then, Rambrose. I will look forward to the learnings of your exploits. And you, Illusion, I know history will remember you. No doubt your heroism will be the star by which I chart my course when I awake. But now I must rest. Recalling so much has put me in the mood for sleep. Very well, my friends. I eagerly await a future born of your courage and the ancients' wish. The Crystal Tower slumbers again, then. 'Tis too quiet for my taste. Goodbye, Sid. I must put all this at my back. Possibility beckons and I am bound to follow. New dawn has come for me. Sounds like there's some sort of signal. Dun 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 dun. You have you have just missed Sid, Illusion. There's much that needs his attention if he is to fulfill Grow's wishes, it seems. But this is not the end of Noah. No matter how lonely St. Konig's find has become for our friend's departure, we must all walk in different directions now. Remember that we labor for a brighter future, lit by Graha's beacon. Seeing the Crystal Tower was but the first step. Farewell, my friend. May our paths cross again. And now I can go do the next amazing storyline quest.